Hey, what's up, everybody around the world? NBA fans, young, old, and even more young. It doesn't matter. Hope you all been enjoying the best show on earth. The NBA playoffs has been terrific so far, folks. We've seen some big upsets from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Boston Celtics and even the Oklahoma City Thunder. Actually, I wouldn't have to say they're an upset. Oklahoma City did play good in the playoffs. They showed that character. They showed that fire in themselves. They showed that they can play the game at a high level. But the deficiencies I did see in the Oklahoma City Thunder was Russell Westbrook. I think one thing he needs to improve in his game in the next 4 years. He's still a young guy, 22 years old. I understand that. He needs to work on his free throw shooting. He needs to work on his perimeter shooting, 3-pointers. And, if he can't make the shot, make the pass. I know he wants to be the go-to guy. He is the Robin to the Batman in Kevin Durant. So the key for the Oklahoma City Thunder going forward is they just need to get some more consistency out of Russell Westbrook, even, Perkins. Perkins, he played bad. He didn't really show what he could do in the playoffs. We're so used to seeing Kenrick Perkins play at a high level. Ever since he got that injury when he was in Boston in the finals in 2010, he hasn't really been the same type of center since then. And there's a reason why Boston let him go. I think his contract was up, and they didn't want to pay him the big bucks that he needed. So, that's why Boston didn't really look so good in the playoffs. They kind of missed Kendrick Perkins. But, I felt that, Jeff Green started to get better as the playoff went on. Now, I know Chris didn't really do much for Celtics. I saw him playing a few games with the Boston Celtics, and you know what? He didn't really do anything. So you talk about a bad trade. It was a bad trade for the Celtics. It was a great trade for the Oklahoma City. Even though Kendrick didn't really do much in the playoffs for them, he was expected to play better than he played. He made some bad shots. Defense wasn't the best, of course. They played a very, very, a very tough series. 6-game series against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis pushed them to the limit. Zebo, how about Zach Randolph? This guy, he's one of the great young talents in the game today. There's no doubt that when he was in Portland, it didn't go good. He went to New York, big free agent signing, didn't work out, but he's really found a home. Just listen to me, folks. He's really found a home with the Memphis Grizzlies. He just recently re-signed a 4-year deal worth $71 million. I'm not sure if it's official. I'm going to have to go check out the site, NBA.com, if he did. But, this guy, and then if they can get back Rudy Gay from his shoulder surgery that he couldn't play in the playoffs, he's out. So he won't be back until maybe September. No, actually, November when the season starts. Probably when the season starts in November, maybe, if there's a lockout. So, they were missing him. But guys like O.J. Mayo stepped up. Mike Conley Jr. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that, Mike. So Mike Conley Jr. stepped it up. Guys like Tony Allen stepped it up. Everybody stepped it up. You couldn't go down that bench and see anyone that didn't play their butts off in the playoffs for the Memphis Grizzlies. They played so hard, that team. There's no doubt. And when they knocked out the San Antonio Spurs, I was shocked. I couldn't believe they beat them. It's unbelievable. When a team works their butts off, they play the toughest defense they can play and show the character and show the heart. Lionel Hollins never gave up on his team. His team just had to win, and that's what they did. What did they do? They just went and won games. Games that most people would have thought they were going to lose. And they proved that they can play with the big boys. And what a playoffs. Hey, folks, what a playoffs. And you look at the Los Angeles Lakers. You shake your head. You don't know what happened to this team. I saw very early in the playoffs that the Lakers were kind of lacking the passion. But, they always have passion. I just think it comes down to health. And some of their guys weren't healthy. Steve Blake didn't look healthy. Odom didn't look healthy. But even though he played 82 games this year, Odom just didn't look right this year. Ron Artest's head was not in the game this year. I think in the offseason they might have to move Ron Artest. I don't think they will, but you never know at the draft. I've been hearing rumors. There's actually been one rumor that Cleveland Cavaliers are looking to move to get the number 2 pick in the draft, and it looks like the Detroit Pistons might be in on it, and Richard Hamilton's name has been floating around, but it's just a rumor. That's what I'm hearing from ESPN and NBA.com and a few other rumors. And there's been a rumor that their head coach, John Kuster, might be fired within the next 24 to 48 hours. So I don't know. There's an ownership sale still going through with the Davidson family. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But I can tell you right now that I won't be surprised if Detroit, Cleveland, and as another team, Minnesota, make a blockbuster 3-way trade. Because I don't think Minnesota really wants that pick. If they can get some help right away, I think they'd take it. So don't be surprised if Minnesota acquire Richard Hamilton or even a Tayshaun Prince from Detroit. So don't be surprised. I love these trade rumors. There's even rumors that J.J. Hickson could be the player that gets traded on draft day. So we'll see. You never know in this game. Sometimes you might get lucky. You might get to see a blockbuster. But hey, I don't think it'll be a blockbuster. It'll just be a normal trade. I think the draft's going to be pretty good. You got some very good young players in this draft. They got this young kid named Leonard Coe. He played for, San Diego State in the March Madness this year. This kid can shoot. They're drawing a lot of comparisons to Gerald Wallace. I'd call him Plastic Man 3. This guy can shoot, he can defend, and he has the energy to run back and forth in the gym, no problem. And one of my favorite players in this draft has to be Jimmer Fredette. This guy, what he did at the University of BYU, Brigham Young, for his 4 years he was there, it's just amazing. 30 points a game. You think he's not going to do that in the NBA? You got to be betting your life on it. He will be doing maybe 20 points a game. Because I think Utah, there's rumors that Utah is going to probably draft him. And a lot of the fans in Utah want to get Jimmer Fredette. And I'm telling you, from sources I've been hearing, listening to radio, watching television and shit, reading some articles and stuff, I can say right now, confirming that the fans of Utah really, really want Jimmer Fredette. And I don't know if the GM wants him. I don't know, but I know the fans of Utah want to get Jimmer, just to go with Gordon Hayward and the rest of the good young talent they got on that team with Derek Favors, because I think Utah's going to be a better team next year, even though they have Tyrone Corbin as a head coach. No more Jerry Sloan. I heard rumors Jerry Sloan might get back to coaching, but maybe it is a rumor. Maybe he's just going golfing or fishing now, and he's with the family. But don't be surprised to see some movement in this offseason. We've already seen Mike Brown, the former Cavaliers coach, just get hired by the Lakers, signs a 4-year deal around $18.28 million. A big move for the Lakers, moving away from Phil Jackson, retiring, surprise retiring for me. I think Phil can still coach. I think he's just, he can't handle anymore. The body is breaking down. He's won 10 championships. He's the greatest coach of all time, even better than Red Auerbach. And that's a lot to say. You have guys like John Wooden, college basketball, are just the best ever. It's very sad to hear what's happened in Ohio with Mr. Tressel. Jim Tressel. This is the heart and soul of Ohio sports in Ohio, and this guy is the heart and soul of their football program, and it's sad to see him go. So I just got to say a shout out to Jim Tressel. I wish you best in your endeavors, and hopefully you land on your 2 feet. And there's a team called Michigan that could use you too, but I doubt he'll go to Michigan. It's going to take a lot of money to get a player, or actually a coach like Mr. Jim Tressel. So as I move on to the finals between the Memphis, actually the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat, I just got to say congratulations to the the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban and Dirk Nowitzki. These guys have done the impossible. They played together, they've worked their butts off, and they've got to the final. Sean Marion has been turning the clock back to 2006, 2007, when he was the Matrix and he was jumping out of the gym. He's just been awesome. And I got to say, tip my hat to Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. I mean, these guys are just, they're great. They're the great minds. I think some of the ideas I had in mid part of the season when I said on the review that Mike Bibby would be a good piece to be in the starting lineup to replace Mario Chalmers, and I think it's worked out perfectly for Braun and Wade and Bosch. I mean, Bosch has really stepped his game up in the playoffs. In the regular season, he didn't really show himself, but in the playoffs, he's been averaging 20 to 30 points per game. I mean, Chris Bosch has really turned his game to the next level. I mean, the former Toronto Raptor has really lived up to the hype. Some people can knock Bosch, can say whatever they want about Chris Bosch, but he's shown the heart, and he's shown that he really cares about playing in Miami, being part of the Big Three. And there's a reason that, I guess they call him the Three Wise Men. That's what I got to call him now. I mean, Braun will call him LeBron and Wade and Bosch will call themselves the Heatles. I just call these guys the Three Wise Men because these guys are wise. If they pull it off against Dallas, you just got to call them the Three Wise Men because they're just wise in the plays they make. Fourth quarter, it doesn't matter who gets the ball as long as they win the game, and that's what it's all about. And as we go, I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks to win this series in 6 games in Dallas, Texas. And it's going to be a good series. I think the Heat are going to play tough. They're going to play very good, explosive basketball tomorrow night. But I'm taking Dallas. I think Dallas has more weapons. They have better defenders like Sean Marion. They got maybe Caron Butler might play. I doubt he will. They got Deshaun Stevenson. He's a very good defender. I think he's going to really get to Braun. I think he's going to be thinking about Deshaun Stevenson a lot. And I think Dirk Nowitzki is going to continue to play out of his mind. I think he's putting on one of those performances like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. I mean, Scottie Pippen has the right to go and say LeBron James is probably better than Michael Jordan. There's no one that ever be better than Michael Jordan. 6 championship rings, 5-time all-defensive team, 3-time MVP. Bron's won it twice. Okay. I mean, the guy's done it all. Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time, dude. I mean, never mind, you have Wilt Chamberlain, you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, what about those guys? Those guys are great, too. You have Magic Johnson. You have Dr. J. You got so many great players. LeBron James is just catching up. If he never wins a championship, he will never be the greatest player in the league. It's only Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan will be the greatest player for here to eternity. So long, everyone. This is Mark Spencer saying bye-bye, and we'll see you in the future.